Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name's Amo and today I'm joined by my good friend Stuart Wilkie.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the Women's World Cup and doing a little bit of a review. So for the first time ever, someone has prepared more than I for a video. So Stuart, you're going to lead this one. Do you want to take it away?
You want me to lead?
Lead away.
Okay. Well, first thing that I wanted to talk about, which was a very weird talking point from this World Cup, which brought up a lot of discussion and debate over celebrations, particularly those from the United States of America.
What was wrong with this?
I had no issue with it.
I thought it was really good independence banter. As a British person saying that as well, I think that was really funny.
Here's the thing, the first thing that came about was when America beat Thailand 13-0.
Oh, that one, okay.
And a lot of people took umbrage with the fact that, you know, when the 13th goal goes in, why are you celebrating like mad?
It's a World Cup goal.
That's my point. It's the age-old, like, if Alex Morgan celebrates it, she's already got she had 5 goals in the game.
But I'd still celebrate that 5th one with like venomous, like, patriotic glory.
Absolutely.
Like, why wouldn't you? Because you might not score another World Cup goal again. You never know what's going to happen in your career.
Couldn't agree more.
This could be her last World Cup for all she knows, Alex Morgan.
Yeah, you don't want to think about it, but yeah, I mean, had she got injured the next minute and then never played football again, you'd all be like, oh, that was a terrible way to end your career. Just going, yeah, that 5th goal didn't matter.
Sorry guys.
It's not. In my opinion, it felt like people were just mad because, oh, they're too good, and it's like, all right, well,
Tyler was that bad.
Yeah, I felt bad for Tyler. They definitely need to. Hopefully, this is a learning lesson for them. Admittedly, probably the worst team to draw up against in your first international game.
It's not a good tune-up game for the World Cup, is it?
No. And the next one wasn't much better because they got whooped 5-1 by Sweden, who finished 3rd. So, winners and 3rd place, really bad start for Thailand. So maybe
think about other US players as well, not just Alex Morgan who got 4 or 5. They might only get 1 World Cup goal in their career, so why not celebrate it with its first game as well? It's like, you know, the excitement's finally, you know, at this point where, you know, the excitement's there to be had, so I think celebrate away, so there was no issue on that front for me whatsoever. What was weird was on BBC Sport, they interviewed Americans, and the Americans themselves were like, okay, they should have stopped after about 5 or 6. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? I thought Americans were like die-hard sports fans as well,
like anti-American in my head. It's like, no, destroy them, destroy. We want 14. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was expecting. I didn't have any issue with that. I can understand why maybe some of the Thailand players might have had umbrage, but
fuck off,
I mean, they knew what they were signed up for. It's a football game.
You were bad.
The main one in terms of celebration gate was, of course, Alex Morgan's celebration against England with her 2nd goal and the winning goal, which was the City Cup.
Yeah.
I have to declare this. I'm an Arsenal fan. I've seen Emmanuel Adebayor score against us and literally run the entire length of the pitch just to slide in front of the Arsenal fans to do that. And I didn't have a problem with that.
To this day, I still don't know why he did that. It was the oddest thing, because in my mind, he had no like bad qualms with Arsenal.
Yeah, he had problems with some fans, but I wasn't one of those fans. Anyway, if I can deal with that, I can absolutely handle Alex Morgan doing this.
But wasn't that funny? I thought it was hilarious.
Well, it's one of those, I don't even think it was a gripe at England. Because number one, tea isn't synonymous with England, let's be honest. We didn't invent tea.
Yeah, but it is.
It is and it isn't.
It's definitely a little poke. A little poke at the English bear.
I think people are reaching because they want to be offended.
What else could it have been?
I mean, China in the tournament, they are more inclined to be mad at this fucking tea joke than we are.
I think it was a political joke in a sense, but it was very funny. And anyone who gets offended by it is, one of those people who get offended by it. It's too easily. This was just a good bit of international, good old Commonwealth backlash banter, in my opinion.
I was mentioning to Sat earlier that I don't actually think it might...
Not Commonwealth, just whatever. British Empire.
It might not have even been that, because like right now, like that's the tea, or like spill the tea, is like the meme. It's a slang for like, telling the facts.
Is it?
That's it, yeah. Like
that doesn't make any sense in the connotation of scoring a goal against England.
I mean, if you're the best player in the world, or one of the best players, and you score, it's like, oh yeah, that's the tea. I don't know.
I wouldn't link that. It's a wicked political joke, man. Just people get over it. I think it's fine.
If you lived in and had like a vest and the news saying Brexit means Brexit, something like that,
would have been.
I'd have been like, you know what? Fair enough.
Brexit means Brexit. Answer the tea. Done.
Pulls a crumpet from out of a shin pad or something, I don't know.
And then a mic out of the other shin pad and drops the mic. That would have been awesome.
I'd have rated that, I can't lie. No, I didn't find it that bad at all, but apparently Alex Morgan basically pointed out that there are definitely double standards when it comes to celebrating, because I mean,
in terms of men and women.
Yeah, because I mean, not being funny, but like the tea drink. Okay, you can maybe link the fact that it's political and like England tea drinking rah. It's not necessarily offensive, is it? Like,
no,
it's like Antoine Griezmann doing the Drake dance is basically the same level, in my opinion. Like, it's
cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that's
as Little Dicky said it.
That's as bad a reach as the whole sipping tea thing.
Do you think?
Well, that's because clearly I'm not offended by it, so it doesn't bother me as much. But it's the same thing for me.
Fine.
Yeah, like Antoine, keep doing that. If you
I think next talking points to it.
Yes, one thing that I found quite interesting about this tournament, Megan Rapinoe was of course one of the stars of the show, Golden Ball winner, and I think she was the Golden Boot winner as well, because she had the most assists with the 6 goals that she'd scored with the 2 other players. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was Alex Morgan and Ellen White, of course, who also had 6, but she ended up winning it, and she's openly gay. An openly gay player, Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, cool.
Which is fantastic. She's an absolute brilliant ambassador. She's also been somebody who's very outspoken in general when it comes to political standpoints. She was actually one of the only white athletes that I know of in America that was actually kneeling during the American anthem during any competition when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing was going on. Like, there was a lot of debate whether people should be doing it. She probably wasn't the only one, but she was certainly one of the first white people to basically be doing this with the Colin Kaepernick. So yeah, she clearly has a lot of opinions, so good for her. But anyway, the reason why I brought her up is the fact that apparently there were 40 openly gay players and managers at this Women's World Cup, which, and I mean, that's great, that's fantastic that they can be willing to openly admit their sexuality in front of the world and have no like qualms with it whatsoever. It's quite an open tournament. None in the Men's World Cup. Not one. Like, not even like a coach that's
got a while to go.
Yeah, and it's one of those like, okay, look, I'm not saying that there has to be a gay player out there that like needs to be represented.
It'll take 2 more generations.
You reckon?
Because I think you look at the oldie dad level age football fan at the moment, they're still of that ilk where they'll be like, oh, you know, bum boy kind of thing. They'll make those stupid remarks, stupid jokes. You can hear the chants already.
Oh yeah,
like we mentioned Matthew Upson.
Matthew Upson. I don't know if he is gay or maybe was gay or bi. I don't know, but I do recall him getting chants a lot at him, calling him like a bum boy or whatever it freaking was, and it's just uncalled for really. And then, like you say, I think maybe the generation hasn't quite shifted out of that mentality, despite the fact that I think basically every Premier League club and probably club in England now has like LGBT supporters. Like, I know gay gooners is a thing for Arsenal. I know Tottenham have their own as well, so I'm pretty sure Villa do. So there you go. So it's, I think you're right in that sense, and I quite like, I had this thought that maybe the generational thing is certainly a point, because women's football only really became like a thing where players were actually playing professionally really in the 90s, like maybe late 80s at a push. So this is like a new sort of like
thing.
It is, isn't it? Like in the 90s, alright, people were a lot more accepting than they were, say, back in the 1900s when men's football was becoming a thing. Like 1930 was the first men's World Cup. There's no way in hell you're going to get a gay player playing up front for England in the 1930s.
Openly, anyway. You never know.
Not a chance. Do you know what I mean? They're just not going to be flying that flag. And I feel like you are right in the sense that maybe the generation's just grown up with that sort of culture. Yeah. Whereas the women's game is kind of grown up in this...
Because it started now, in the age of social media, where one of the benefits of social media is that all the kids these days do not take any shit in terms of racism or sexism, any of that stuff.
There's a lot
it's all being eradicated with the youth dem.
And
so it's good. It's a good time for it to sort of blossom now. Yeah. But the men's game needs to take, take some notes, maybe.
They really do. Because we want to talk about quality of play, but in terms of quality of representation and quality of that person can inspire another person, I do think the women's game maybe has more to it than the men's game in terms of what it can affect off the pitch. Because don't get me wrong, like there's going to be a lot of kids that want to be Cristiano Ronaldo, but they just want to be like rich and famous and want to play for Real Madrid, and they just want the good looks and the hair and the cars and this, that and the other. And look, no disrespect to Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a very charitable person. I'm sure he's great off the field too, but I don't really see him as like, he's not as activist as like a Megan Rapinoe is. He's not. I mean, he's not American, so he's not going to be saying fuck Donald Trump or anything like that. But there's a lot more, I don't know, connectivity with the England players. Like I can imagine more English women now being, I want to be like Steph Houghton, I want to be like Lucy Bronze, I want to be like Ellen.
Well, it was a nice moment. I saw David Beckham bring his daughter to the game, and you saw.
Cameroon game?
I can't remember now, to be honest. But it was nice seeing and them celebrating the goal together.
Yes.
The high five. That is a beautiful. It's like taking your daughter to see a Marvel film.
Yeah.
With a female lead with Captain Marvel. It's sort of that sort of similarity.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And imagine if like in 20 years' time you've literally got it's 7:30, isn't it? His daughter. I can't remember.
I don't follow celebrity culture.
I feel awful.
I know Brooklyn, and that's pretty much it, baby.
But imagine if Beckham's daughter ends up becoming a footballer.
Which is a stupid fucking name too. Anyway.
How did this come like a hate thing on Beckham? Anyway, yeah.
Praise for the act of taking your daughter.
Yeah.
Shit name selection. It's like you gotta balance out the books, haven't you? Anyway, next point.
But yeah, that was going to be basically the wrap up of.
There's only one. You said before. There's only one openly gay male player, and that's
that I know of.
And it's Tommy Hitzelsberger used to play for
Aston Villa. Yeah, so, and he came out, I believe, when he'd retired.
Yeah.
Because he basically said that the league wasn't ready for an openly gay footballer, and it's scary to think that was only 2003, 2004 when he was playing for Villa.
15 years ago.
Yeah. I can remember it vividly. So
all those screamers.
Yeah, he had a freaking hammer foot, didn't he?
But yeah, so I think LGBT promotion and just having the conversations have been a great aspect of this World Cup as well. So not just the football itself, but all the conversations around the subject matter. So it's brought that as well, which the men's World Cup definitely has not done. There's no focus on that whatsoever. So.
It does feel like the fan culture for the women's game is very much in the 21st century.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, I mean, literally not even that long ago. I mean, not even that long ago in like Italian Serie A, it's like one of the top 3, if not 5, like leagues in the world. One of their own international strikers, this up-and-coming 19-year-old kid, and they're abusing him.
Juve one.
Moise Kean, or something like that. Either way, like 19-year-old, like it's basically their Raheem Sterling. Yeah, it's mental to think that we're only kind of kicking that kind of stuff down now. But I mean, yeah, the Serie A have basically said that it isn't a thing.
So celebrations. We've had LGBT.
Yes.
Next. We'll get to football itself soon, guys, don't worry.
But talking about that, I basically looked up when the next Women's Super League will be starting. It starts around the same time as the Men's Premier League does, I believe.
They're doing double headers now, aren't they?
They are.
That's really cool.
Yes, that's going to be a new thing, where apparently the Women's Super League games will be playing either before or after.
What a great idea.
Which is fantastic, because, I mean, how often do you see like lads go to the pub and they'll go there a few hours early for the game they want to watch? For like a few cheeky drinks here and there, and you've got the women's game on. They might genuinely like grow attached to the women's game. Like it's still a very.
I don't know, mate. I still think there'll be that sort of classic laddish.
Oh, there will be.
They'll sort of bend it like Beckham's sexist humour watching him. They'll still have that old god like that.
Cracking film.
I think that is a genius idea. Yeah, great film. Because I think my worry is that when things like this happen, they don't use it as a springboard, or the platform isn't used correctly to springboard things into more innovation and progression. Whereas as soon as I heard that announcement, I was like, okay, things are really rocking and rolling now. This is great.
Hope so.
This is really great.
And more positive. Something that you quite enjoy. Manchester United actually got promoted to the Women's Super League, which is a huge deal for me, because it baffled my mind when I heard.
Well, that's Premier League teams to have a women's team.
How?
I don't know.
You had literally like top 3 clubs in the world.
I don't know, but it was really weird.
So
I thought that was weird as well.
Fantastic to hear that they're now a thing, and I mean it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, because I mean, more often than not, these women's players, they tend to come up through the teams they support. United are a hugely supported team. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next 5 years you saw United winning trophies.
You'll see at Old Trafford now, you'll have like a men's, I think intermix, you'll have one like big column for a male player, female player, male player. Then the other side, the biggest one will be a female player, male player, female player. I think that will be like the new trend, I think.
Maybe so.
We'll get the ball rolling again, so it's just about, keeping things moving.
Yeah.
I think in the right direction.
And it's definitely happening more in the bigger teams now. Like Arsenal, obviously, they were all over the World Cup. Like we had a lot of representation. Like Vivian Miedemeijer was the star striker for Netherlands, and yeah, she's got a ridiculous record. I think she has like 63 goals before the age of 22 international. That's just disgraceful. How on earth has she got that many goals? So she's fantastic.
Records will be broken.
They will indeed. But yeah, another thing I pointed out, apparently in the opening weekend, it's going to be United versus City.
Oh yeah,
so Manchester
and Tottenham versus Chelsea as well.
Tottenham versus Chelsea, and those games are being played at the Etihad and Stamford Bridge.
Damn.
So no more like 12 to 15,000 seater stadiums that are like.
It'll be interesting to see actually, because normally when I see women's games being played in the past, loads of empty seats.
Yeah.
I wonder now, post-World Cup 2019, will that be different now?
Well, hopefully not. And to be fair, like Chelsea in particular, they've got quite a few decent players in the England team. So, yeah.
Frank Kirby played for Chelsea?
I believe so, yeah. And I think, I want to say Steph Walton does as well.
Frank Kirby had a average World Cup.
She just didn't get a good run, unfortunately. She scored a great goal against Sweden there.
Yeah.
She kind of reminded me of Jack Wilshere in the sense she was like a bit small and scrappy, good on the ball.
Well, they called her the female Messi a while ago. And then,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
You can't link people to that name. You can't do it unless they're like.
No, but at the time she was mental. I think she's got the same stature, same sort of running movement, like nifty,
weaving in and out.
Yeah.
So
hard to break, hard to tackle, hard to bring down.
Yeah.
So, anyway, next point.
So obviously we're talking about the Women's Super League, which I think will be a massive, massive step forward. Hopefully this next season, they do need to just sort of kick off from this World Cup success because clearly it's the biggest and best World Cup that they've ever had.
Should we talk about the play? No, standard of play.
Sure.
To bring in.
I mean, yeah.
Let's talk about the football itself because, like I said, this is the best female World Cup ever. Because 4 years ago, I actually did a podcast about this with my good friend Nikki the other day, and my dad and a few others. I think Ryan was on it as well.
Okay.
It was the debate of in tennis at the time. It was should female tennis players be paid the same as men, and the football argument got brought up in terms of like women footballers. Now at the time, the women's game was much slower, much less quality, and there was an argument to why there was a massive divide between the pay. But now this is the last World Cup I had the same sort of issue. I thought it was a bit too slow. The quality wasn't great. I found it difficult to watch. But this World Cup has completely revolutionised. I think in the past 4 years, the strides that the women have made in general standard of play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been incredible. And this was really like the first England game. I was like, right, things have definitely changed in a big bad way.
Phil Neville's doing a great job.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
But the particular stand that I took in the podcast, I think, was the main thing that I had an issue with the female game was the amount of easy goals scored due to goalkeeping errors.
There was a lot of bad goalkeeping, yeah.
And it was rightfully so. But now, this World Cup has completely changed.
Yeah, this World Cup was the World Cup. I mean, I was going to mention, I mentioned the Jamaica keeper, Schneider was fantastic. Vanina Correa, the Argentina keeper, she actually came out of retirement. That she wasn't going to play anymore.
She probably made the best save of the World Cup, I think.
The reason why Argentina were quite an interesting story was they apparently don't get any financial help from their FA.
Really?
Not a single. I don't know what the currency is in Argentina, but yeah, they get nothing. They get absolutely no support whatsoever. And I don't know.
How they fund even the travel?
Yeah,
the travel costs are crazy for footballers.
That's it. You'd think so, but and you'd think if that happened in England, it'd be outrage. Like if the England FA weren't even providing pitches for them?
I guess equality is sort of a bit slower in that part of the world.
I guess so, but you've also got to think this is football.
That's true.
In Argentina.
That is true.
It's it's heaven and hell over there. Yeah. You either win the World Cup or you're nothing to me. That's what they think over there.
How odd.
It's very strange. So for them to have had literally no funding whatsoever and to have literally gone their entire professional careers getting destroyed by teams in this World Cup, a 0-0 against Japan, that was their World Cup final. Yeah. That was crazy. They almost did it to England as well. Admittedly, they're a little rough and tumble. They are quite physical to the point where maybe you're trying to injure players, and I'm not really a fan of that. But a 1-0 loss to England's a pretty damn good achievement, and coming back from 3-0 down to eventually to draw 3-3 with Scotland, they've had a fantastic World Cup in my opinion. So and Vanina Correa was one of the big parts of that. So
Next thing I want to talk about is organisation. Another sort of gripe I had before in the last World Cup was the lack of organisation defensively. I think England were very good, but they still had moments and lapses of concentration. But the most organised team by far was the USA. When they went a goal up, they just sat back in their banks and just defended. Because they had pace
in front as well.
Yeah,
if you left them open, good luck defending.
And Alex Morgan's hold-up play was crazy as well. So as an organisational unit, I thought the USA were very impressive. But generally speaking as well, the organisation, the formational structure, the understanding of the game of both players, both teams, and of all teams was really, really good. The counter-attacking football was incredible at times.
Their left back, Dunn.
Oh yeah.
Probably player of the tournament if it wasn't Rebecca Rapinoe.
Agreed.
I don't think she put a foot wrong.
Not at all.
In the whole tournament.
Not at all.
And apparently their goalkeeper's also really good. But I mean, you don't get to really get from it, unfortunately. It's just kind of unfortunately gets swept aside.
Yeah. No, it's the most entertaining it's been by far. But the one gripe I would have, Stuart, there's still a lot of misplaced passes.
Oh, yes.
And I noticed this when France played the USA and just when England played a lot generally, because they're the team I watched the most because it was coming home. It was so frustrating to watch how many passes were just short passes as well, were just really misplaced. I get long passes being misplaced.
Yeah.
But a lot of short passes and it really, I don't think got my nerves, but it's just frustrating to watch as a fan.
Yeah, so. It is. And one of the main ones as well, I think it was in the Japan game or possibly the Argentina game. One of our best players for England is Jill Scott. She had a great tournament, but one of those games, I can't recall which one it was. Oh man, she was having an absolute shocker. I think she gave the ball away like 6 times in the half, and I was like, oh man, like
come on,
these are simple passes.
This is a World Cup, God damn it.
But I mean, it's one of those. Those kind of things are going to get worked out of the game as the game progresses.
Because watching France against the USA as well, when they were like 1-0 down.
God, yeah.
They had so many breaks where they could have just passed the ball earlier, but they didn't.
That final ball.
Because I really want France to win because I reckon England would have taken France easily. So and they had many opportunities against the USA if they would have just played the ball a bit earlier and just had that instinctiveness, but that wasn't there. And
I will say with the women's game, which is quite an interesting dynamic as well. If you see a player one-on-one in the Premier League, if Aguero's through on goal, it's goal.
Yeah.
You're not thinking anything else. You put your house in to score that. In the women's game, all right, fair enough. There's going to be a lot of strikers that you're like, Alex Morgan's probably got this. Vivian Miedema probably got this. And she.
Although Alex Morgan in the final, she fluffed a lot a couple of times.
Yeah. So it is kind of a 50-50 where the goalkeeper really does have a good chance.
You know what it is? I've noticed like female defenders. I don't know if this is a thing, but like it seems they get back way quicker with the striker. I don't know if it's a pace thing.
But Steph Horton was incredible.
I've just noticed the defenders making last-ditch challenges in the box. So many. Some led to penalties, obviously, but some didn't. A lot didn't. So
it's true.
That's a thing. But that's my only real gripe, I think. And the other positive I have was the finishing.
Yeah.
Good lord, I'm going to list a few of these goals. There was, I think, Gwyn's goal against Spain from Germany. There was Ajara's for Cameroon, when she cut back and then did a little
against New Zealand that sent them into the frickin' round of 16.
Lucy Bronze's massive scream off the corner for England. That was really great.
Identical to her goal in 2009, I think.
Who was the USA midfielder? Is it
Lavelle. I've literally got both of their names here.
Her World Cup final goal.
Yeah.
That was equal to any finish I've ever seen in any men's World Cup.
Absolutely leathered it.
That's the best goal I've seen, I think, in the women's game so far. It's like a Kevin De Bruyne finish, like they were leaning across the floor.
Right off the floor, The keeper was not going to say that. And she had a great game, that dame.
That dame! 1950s boy!
What a word. But
that was great.
That day. But yeah, Lavelle was one of the players of the tournament. A lot of people were a bit upset that she didn't get the young player of the tournament.
She didn't get it?
No, Gwyn from Germany got it.
Nah, Lavelle made the USA tick, which I thought was really impressive, like that little perler.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe it was one of those kind of things where people were like, we can't give everything to the USA. But
she deserved she was a great spread of passes, but also she was running at defensive lines as well.
Oh, she was great.
I think she deserved that.
She nutmegged Steph Horton in the England game as well. The balls on that woman. That's like England's captain, our best defender. She just straight looked her up and down and went, yeah, see you later.
I got you.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of crazy. I think maybe it's a similar situation to the World Cup in the men's where they were like, Luka Modric has had a good tournament. Is he really the best player of the tournament?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
He was great. He wasn't the best player of the tournament.
Anything else to it you want to talk about?
Nothing that I can bring to mind. If we're wrapping up, I'd definitely like to bring up Marta's impassionate speech. Have you got
any more points you want to bring up, or is that the review kind of done and dusted in terms of all talking points?
Well, you did mention obviously that the women's game in terms of the passing and everything, it's not quite on the same level as the men's quite yet, and that's understandable. Because of basically funding, the amount of money involved in men's football is outrageous. Especially the World Cup. I read the whole debate now is that the American women want equal pay to the men's because, the men didn't even reach the tournament. The women won the tournament after being the favourites, after being heavily scrutinised and heavily you better win, and they did it. Yeah. So, the argument is pretty fair. I did read up on it, and apparently the World Cup this year made 113 million, in terms of revenue, and they gave away 20% of that purse to the teams themselves.
Oh, nice, okay.
Whereas it was only 7% for the whole revenue for the men's, but the money was considerably higher.
Less.
It was something like
higher.
it was something like close to
Whichever way you look at it.
1.5 billion in fact. So yeah, when you see a lot more money going into it, and I believe the FIFA president even said that the prize pool for the next tournaments, there'll be more teams. Apparently, it's going to be 32 in the next one.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting.
Cool.
And yeah, the prize and the money involved in it is going to be a lot better. And with the TV deals with the Women's Super League and the French league's doing fantastically as well. Like Lyon, they've got that Ada Hegerberg, who I just wish she was in the tournament because Norway were really good anyway. Can you imagine how good they would have been with her in that? Yeah, I know there's a whole.
How old is she?
She's not that old actually.
No, so she'll be around for the next one.
Oh, she definitely is. I think she's
the
like
32 team.
22.
She'll be in for that.
She should be, but the reason why she wasn't is she has like a bit of a issue with her national team. I don't know what it is. Like, there's a whole thing they need to work out. But yeah, something along to do with the coach and not wanting to play for them. But yeah, Ada, we'd love to see you in the next World Cup. 100%.
Do you want to talk about views and then Marta's thing and then wrap up?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so overall there was 1 billion views tournament wide estimated. So that number could be a little bit like exaggerated. It might be like
1 billion views.
yeah, it might be like 980 million, but yeah, just round up.
Equality.
It's a nice number. Another news story was 11.7 million viewers for England versus USA in Britain, which is a British record for this year for live audience.
I'm so excited for that match.
Oh, I was absolutely gassed for it, to be honest. I genuinely thought we might have them, but we were so close.
I think I was like almost excited. I watched the Croatia match with you, didn't I, in the pub?
Yes, you did, yeah.
I think I was almost equally gassed,
Did you miss the goal though? You missed England's goal, didn't you?
No.
I swear you arrived at the second half.
No, I was there. Straight away, I saw Kieran Trippier's goal.
Okay.
I was there right at the start. No, I was going to miss that shit.
No, Emma missed it. Yeah, that was it. Yes, you were there. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't quite the same like football's coming home, every day's sunny, let's all go to the pub. But maybe one day we'll get to that stage, and I hope we do. I hope this is a platform.
I'm still hyped, is what I'm saying, which I wasn't by any means 4 years ago. So
yeah, you better believe I was wearing the England top every time. I really want to cop the England women's red one.
Oh, that was
gorgeous.
Sick, yeah.
Brilliant kit. Love that kit. And I also, just to touch on, I quite like the fact that England's men and women have different kits. I kind of like
more things for us to buy.
Why the hell not? Yeah, and it just distinguishes them. They have a red badge and the men have the blue.
Merchandise, baby.
Why not? 28 million overall in the UK at least watched with minimum 15 minutes of a World Cup match, which is
it's fine. That's great viewing figures, actually.
Yeah, huge numbers. Which would be 12.4 million in 2015, so well over double, which is fantastic to hear. Another little stat as well at Marta. She actually has the record for most World Cup goals now, because she actually beat Miroslav Klose's record of 16.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
17 goals. I think it's probably a good idea to finish on Marta, because she did actually have a very passionate speech at post-game when they were defeated by France in one of the games of the tournament. I thought it was a very good game. If I had to pick a game of the tournament, it would probably be France versus USA. That was very back and forth.
Yeah, that was good.
And USA were once they got that second goal, they shut up shop, and France were trying to get back.
Shut up shop after goal one, mate.
Yeah, they did. They did, and
try and break us down. We're too organised. God damn it.
They really were very good, and rightful winners in the end, I think. But anyway, back to Marta. I think her message pretty much is the way people should be thinking about it from this World Cup's perspective. Women's football depends on you to survive. She's kind of talking to, I think she was talking in terms of a Brazilian standpoint, but this can kind of be translated to the rest of the world for the women's game. What did she say? We're asking for support. You have to cry at the beginning and smile at the end. She recognising that, we realise the situation that we're in, that women are not getting the same pay, they're not getting the same limelight, but you have to sort of persevere. Because it was a damn sight worse 4 years ago, and I'm sure they thought the same thing then.
Just think what progression in 4 years. Like, it's
huge.
It's getting there.
Well, I mean, how many people now know the name Steph Horton? Ellen White, Lucy Bronze, Frank Kirby, Nikita Paris. How many people know those names now? They didn't know them 2 years ago. Well, maybe Steph Horton, but
No, I didn't for sure. No. And now, fluent with all England.
That's it. That says a lot, and I don't think we're the only ones. It's about wanting more. It's about training more. It's about looking after yourself more. It's about being ready to play 90 minutes and then 30 minutes more. So that's why I'm asking the girls. There's not going to be a Formiga forever. She was famously the player that had played in, I think it was 6 World Cups. She was 41 years old. Like, that's mental. there's not going to be a martyr forever, and there's not going to be another Christian, the star striker in the tournament. So I think that was a very, very nice way for her to sort of sign off.
Come on, next generation, you can be better than us, kind of thing.
It's Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, if Brazil aren't represented at the World Cup, that's a travesty.
Yeah.
That would genuinely be a national travesty if the male team didn't make the World Cup, and I genuinely think it should be as important if the women's do.
I think it will get. I think in those countries, it's surprisingly, said the Argentina thing, the lack of pay.
Huge, isn't it?
That's massive. I couldn't even believe that when you told me that just now.
Mental.
So I think if anything's going to bring about equality in those regions,
Football.
Yeah,
Love it.
So yeah, I just want to say overall, the World Cup was a really, really enjoyable experience on many different levels. There's a lot of substance in everything that was going on, be it the political standpoints, be it the equality standpoint, LGBT. It was a football tournament with great quality, but with so much more to it, which is why I liked it so much.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. Okay, you know the favourite won in the end anyway.
Yeah.
But this was the first time where if you did a work sweepstakes, you generally thought, France might take it. You know, Germany, they're not bad, and Netherlands did win the Euros not that long ago. England are pretty. It
was
good.
weird supporting France for the first time as an English person. That was really good. But yeah. Do you want to sign up there?
Yeah, what was there was another thing I was going to say. No, completely gone.
Alright, until next time, I'm going to take a victory sip. See you later.
Repeat it!